It all comes down to this, a USA South Conference Championship between the number 2 seeded Southern Virginia Knights and your Brevard College Tornadoes is the top seed here this afternoon inside the Bosch. Ryan Wilkes here with you live on YouTube, and what a matchup we have today. Two teams that squared off twice this season. Southern Virginia won here at the Bosch, and Brevard returned the favor in Southern Virginia. And we'll get going here today. Brevard without Christina Roan. We'll keep an eye on that as she's had such a great year. Had a great game last time, a career-high 19 points. 2 off a career high. Nonetheless, great game for her. She is out today, but the Tornadoes will have Annalie Morris dressed and ready to go against a talented, firepower-heavy Southern Virginia team who overcame a late deficit to beat North Carolina Wesleyan to get here to Brevard, North Carolina. Good crowd on hand. Packed gym here at the Bosch as the Tornadoes and the Knights getting ready to roll. We'll talk about the starting lineups and the storylines coming into this one when we come back on the other side.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy. Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not.
Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate, with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits.
It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today.
Over 125 years, Comporium hasn't had customers. We've had neighbors, friends, and a community we're proud to serve. Because for us, it's personal. We live, work, and raise our families right alongside you. So yes, we deliver lightning-fast speeds and reliable service, but more than that, we deliver commitment. Comporium, making connections that make a difference.
All right, back ready to go here at the Bosch. The starting lineups being introduced after the beautiful national anthem again by Grace Vaught. Thankful for her and her contributions in the pregame national anthem. The starters for Southern Virginia, the first team guard, Maria Savoon, averaging 11.8 points per game, 2.5 rebounds and 4 assists. Great season for her. And Samantha Smith, the freshman guard, gets a start out of American Fork, Utah. And Abigail Snyder, the player of the year, number 11, in the starting lineup as well. Snyder tops in the league in points per game, 18.9, 7 rebounds per game, and about 4 assists for the senior guard. And number 22, Anna Kimball, she's one of the top rebounders in the league, averaging about 9 a game is Kimball. And Asia Foster, the senior 4, rounds out the starting lineup. Foster had the crucial and one in the last minute for Southern Virginia to get them here. And the winner for North Carolina Wesleyan As Brevard starters will be introduced, it's Annalie Morris, Alicia Hill, Olivia Miller, Kaden Johnson, and Jada Petty Wilkins. As Hill back in the starting lineup for the injured Christina Roan. Hill had a season-high 14 points at Southern Virginia. Huge part of that 10-point win for the Tornadoes in Buena Vista, Virginia. Annalie Morris was a game-time decision, but she is in the starting lineup with leg sleeve on. She had that 39-point performance against Meredith. Only played 5 minutes last time out against William Peace. As Kaden Johnson, the Defensive Player of the Year, in the starting lineup as well with Olivia Miller. Olivia Miller, first-teamer here in her senior season. Great crowd here at the Bosch. A lot of students in attendance. I don't really see a seat, at least here on the near side. Southern Virginia section has some open seats. The Tornado Club taking up most of their seats in a historic game here for Brevard. Searching for their first conference championship. These two teams squared off last season at Southern Virginia in this conference championship game. And the Knights won a defensive battle 57-45 over the Tornadoes. Southern Virginia has won 3 of the last 4 USA South Conference tournaments. But Brevard looks to change that today. Olivia Miller and Anna Kimball in the jump circle. As Southern Virginia in the road maroon jerseys. A little bit off maroon. A dark red here for the Knights as Kimball wins the tip back to Savoon. And we are underway. The Knights move right to left here on this first possession. Feed off to Smith from the near side wing. The top for Foster. Foster a handoff to Savoon. She pump fakes on Hill. Drive towards the free throw line. Kick back out Kimball. Over to Smith with 15 to shoot. Morris defense. Inside Kimball. Back to the basket working on Johnson. Feeds it out Savoon. Savoon pump fakes a 3. Drives. Has it tipped away and stolen by Jada Petty Wilkins. Jada has it tipped away in the backcourt, but she controls as Brevard creates a turnover. Hill on the near side wing. Directs the offense from the left point. Top of the key, Olivia Miller. Feeds Annalie Morris. Gets a screen from Olivia. Slips it inside for Miller. Backing down Smith. Kick back out Johnson. Top of the key. 3. Rolls out no good. Smith down with a strong rebound. This Southern Virginia team, a really good rebounding squad. Had 25 offensive rebounds in the last matchup against the Tornadoes. Bounce pass to the top. Abigail Snyder going to try a long triple, and it's nothing but net. Snyder can do that. One of the best players, if not the best player in the league, as Petty Wilkins tries an answer. Back rim, no. Long rebound. She tracks it down and will keep the possession alive. Back out Morris on the right wing. Morris defended by Smith. Flips it towards the elbow for Petty Wilkins. Back out Hill. One more to the corner for Johnson. Johnson back to the top of the key for Olivia Miller with 7 to shoot. Miller turned away in the lane. Has it deflected away with 3. Kicks it back out. Hill with 1. Will have to throw it up off the glass and in. Alicia Hill, as the shot clock expires, gets the Tornadoes on the board. It's 3-2. Savoon pressured at the BC logo at midcourt. Savoon steps into a long 3. Side iron, no good, and Morris comes out with the rebound. Annalie brings it up left to right. Feeds it off Miller. Pump fakes on Foster. Kick back out Hill. Hill has it tipped away. She slips and falls. Some contact on Foster. But Smith tracks down a loose ball. Snyder will bring it the other way, right to left. 7:50 and a moving clock here in this first quarter. And off to Savoon. In the corner, Kimball. Kimball feeds back to Maria Savoon, the first-team all-conference guard. Off to Foster. Bounces down low on Miller. Now the free throw line. Kimball has it tipped away by Jada and stolen by Olivia Miller. Miller in transition. Bounce pass down low. Johnson left hand. It rolls off. As Miller had the second chance rebound for a moment, but it's jarred out of bounds. Back to the Knights. Ruth Kempler will check in for the first time, as it looks like she'll get Anna Kimball. And the first of the ball game is Kempler. She enters for Kimball, so it's Snyder, Savoon, Smith, Foster, and Kempler on the floor for the Knights. Hill defending Savoon, the front court. Now Snyder pulls up for a quick 3. It rolls in. Shooter's touch from Abigail Snyder. She has all 6 for the Knights on a pair of triples, and it's 6-2. Petty Wilkins bounces off to Hill, who brings in the front court for the Tornadoes. Top of the key, Olivia Miller. Miller feeds it near side wing for Annalee Morris. Now inside Olivia, quick turn and fire, rolls off as Foster collects a rebound. Here comes Snyder in the night. Snyder, the hot hand to start it. She drives on Petty Wilkins, turned away. Now tried to feed it baseline to Savoon. It's tipped out of bounds. And we'll stay with the Knights with 21 to shoot. A deep three for Snyder, and then one that hit off the front of the iron but rolled home for the first 6 points of the day. Now Snyder from the mid-range. This one no good. Foster second chance rebound. She goes up with the right hand and scores over Olivia Miller. And it's an 8-2 start for Southern Virginia. 6:27, a moving clock here in this first quarter as Hill directs the offense. Near the midcourt stripe, Alicia gets the screen from Olivia Miller, drives the right-hand side of the lane. Now back out Olivia. She's going to try to answer with a three, and it's bottoms. Olivia Miller from the top of the key. And it's 8-5. Savoon across the timeline. Feeds it off Foster, top of the key. Foster works on Miller, has it tipped away. She gets it back. Now in the corner, Snyder pump fakes a three, drives inside on Petty Wilkins, throws it up with the right hand and in. Abigail Snyder, 8 of the 10 points to start things off as it's fed to the top for Annalee Morris. Morris steps back, top of the key with a three. She's fouled as it hits off the back of the rim, and Annalee will get 3 free throws. So Annalee, who had 39, in the opening round, will head to the free throw line for the first time as Malika Rankin will check in and get Alicia Hill, and the Knights answer with a sub of their own. It's Kenzie Peterson in for the first time. First free throw for Morris is a hair short, and she'll get 2 more from the charity stripe. 10-5 your score. Southern Virginia leads Brevard as Morris nets his second. With 5:38 to go here in the first quarter. Annalee puts up the third free throw, and it's nothing but net. 10-7 as Annalee goes 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Full court pressure here from Rankin on Savoon as she feeds it to the midcourt stripe for Foster. Foster picks up her dribble, kicks it back out. Snyder steps into another long three. From the rim, no good. Petty Wilkins, a one-handed rebound. Jada all the way up the floor for Kaden Johnson. Johnson throws it inside, tipped away, looking for Miller. And Kempler stays in bounds, off to Foster in transition. Foster has it deflected away by Petty Wilkins and stolen on the backside by Morris. Morris a bounce off to Jada. Jada steps into a long three. It's an air ball. Miller there with the second chance. Right-hand layup is off the glass and good. A glorified pass to Olivia Miller down low. And it's 10-9. A quick 4-0 spurt for the Tornadoes. Make it a 7-0 run as the Tornadoes trail 10-2. Top of the key with Snyder. Snyder drives on Petty Wilkins, gets to the baseline, goes up with the right hand off the glass and good. Abigail Snyder, a really hot start for her. She has 10 of the 12 for Southern Virginia. Hand off to Malika Rankin. Now off to Annalee Morris. Morris drives in the lane, floats with the right hand off the front iron, no, grabs her own miss, back out Rankin, off to Johnson. Johnson in the corner for Miller, now back out Rankin, a triple, no good, but Johnson's there with the second chance rebound. Top of the key, Morris. Steps back, feeds to the top for Rankin, one more Petty Wilkins. Jada's going to try a quick three off the glass, and the rebound is tipped to Kempler. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter, a fast-paced start, 12-9 Southern Virginia. Savoon launches a long three. No good. Kempler fighting for the rebound, and Johnson is whistled for the foul. Looks like Caden might have hooked her just a bit. As we will go to our under 5 media timeout. 3:52 to go. It's 12-9 Southern Virginia here in the USA South Conference Championship game right here live on YouTube.
With Earthling Coffee, we're not just brewing drinks, we're crafting experiences that are truly out of this world. From our amazing lattes, made with our exclusive Event Horizon espresso, roasted right here in the Pisgah Forest, to our custom energy drinks powered by plants and coffee beans, without the crazy chemicals the big guys use. Earthling Coffee isn't just another stop, it's your launchpad for adventure, community, and flavour beyond the stars. Earthling Coffee. So what can we get crafting for you today?
Back here at the Bosch after the under 5 media timeout, as Abigail Snyder has scored 10 of the 12 points in the early going for Southern Virginia. Talking to Coach Hunt pregame, he said, yeah, we held her to 13 in both matches, but you can't just expect to do that every time out against the best player in this conference. As Kimball's back in, so it's Kempler and Kimball on the floor. This one's flipped near side for Savoon, 15 to shoot. Rankin tight defense on the first team all-conference guard as Snyder has it. Steps into a three in the corner and hits it. Abigail Snyder off to a brilliant start. She's 4 of 5 from the field and 3 of 3 from long range. It's 15-9, Southern Virginia. Top of the key screen for Petty Wilkins. Now back to Johnson. Off to Miller. Miller pump fakes on Kempler. Now tries to drive the lane. Has it tipped away on the floor. It's scooped up by Kimball. Off to Snyder, who will race it across for Southern Virginia. Snyder flips it inside Savoon. Backdoor cut. The layup no good. Kimball there, second chance rebound. She's off the mark, and now it's on the floor. It rolls out of bounds. Last off of the Tornadoes. 3:06 to go, 16 to shoot for Southern Virginia on this possession. As Savoon has it at the top. Now off to Kempler. Hand off back to Maria Savoon. She drives on Miller to the cup with the right hand, and she scores. 17-9 as Maria Savoon gets in the lane. 17-9 your score, under 3 to play. Hand off to Malika Rankin at the top. Off to Miller, who steps into a long three. It's off the side of the iron, no good. Kimball down with the rebound. Bounces it off to Maria Savoon. We'll bring it across right to left. Savoon gets a screen from Kempler. Steps into a mid-range jumper. Back of the rim, no good. Kempler over the back. She reached over top of Kennedy Noble. And it will go the other way. So it's Noble, Johnson, Rankin, Petty Wilkins, and Miller on the floor with Kimball, Kempler, Savoon, Snyder, and Peterson. As Foster will check in and grab Kempler off the floor. 2:29 to go, 17-9. Southern Virginia out in front here in this first quarter. Good shooting start for the Knights. They have their largest lead of the game at 8. Off to Kennedy Noble, top of the key bounce from Malika Rankin. Now Petty Wilkins. Off to Malika. Malika had space for a three, but she decides to drive on Savoon. Rankin in the lane, throws up the right hand on a foul. Called on the Knights. Let's see who this one's on. It's going to go on Savoon. And free throws coming up from Malika Rankin. We talked about her ability to get to the line, and she said, take advantage of being small. And I can squeak through some of these bigger defenders. She does so right there, gets the foul called on the body of Savoon. First free throw rolls out, no good. And Malika will get one more from the free throw line. Second one up coming for Rankin. She puts it up, and off the back rim, no good. 0 for 2 trip to the line for Rankin, and the score remains 17-9. Feeds it off Snyder. Snyder another quick three off the front iron, no good. Noble rips down a rebound. Here comes Kennedy in transition, left to right, off to Rankin. Has her pass tipped away by Snyder. Snyder across the timeline, drives down low on Miller, goes up with the left hand, it rolls out, but Kimball is there with a second chance. Peterson tries a mid-range jumper, no. And Miller skies for the rebound. Here comes Olivia across the timeline. Top of the key, drives down low with the right hand, off the glass and in. Crafty crossover to get to the cup for Olivia Miller. And the Tornadoes back within 6. 1:26 in the moving clock here in the first. Bounce the short corner for Kimball. Faces up on Miller, feeds it inside Snyder. Snyder drives on Johnson, turns and fires. It rolls in. Abigail Snyder showing it all here in the first quarter. As she gets another bucket, it's 19-11. Petty Wilkins, top of the key for Miller. Miller, hand off to Rankin. Rankin feeds it off to Jada. Jada with 15 on the timer, crosses over on Snyder, turns in the lane, passes back out for Miller. Miller swings it over to Noble, pump fakes the three, drives inside, puts it up and scores. Nice job by Kennedy Noble, passed up a good shot for a great one. And it's 19-13. Snyder defended by Rankin at the top of the key to the free throw line for Kimball. Kimball feeds in the corner, Savoon a triple, she's got it. Maria Savoon, no hesitation on the three ball. And it's 22-13 Southern Virginia. 25 seconds of moving clock here in the first quarter. 3-second shot clock, game clock differential. As Rankin turned away, feeds off Petty Wilkins, tries to answer, and she does. Jada from long range. And it's 22-16. Tornadoes just trying to answer here in the first as Savoon has it with under 10 to shoot here in the first quarter. Feed over Savoon with 4. She'll put it up. And off the side iron, Snyder, second chance. Puts it up, no good. And we head to the second quarter. It's 22-16. The Knights had a lead as large as 9, but the Tornadoes make it 6 at the halftime break. We'll take, or not the halftime break, the quarter break. We'll take a break right here and be right back for the second quarter here live on YouTube.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy.
Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not.
Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate, with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits.
It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today.
Back for the second quarter, it's a 6-point lead for Southern Virginia. As we enter the second quarter, it will be Brevard basketball moving left to right. Petty Wilkins across the timeline for the Tornadoes, bounces it off Rankin. Top of the key with Johnson. Caden working on Kempler, feeds off Noble, now the top of the key with Malika Rankin. Rankin drives, turned away, defended by Savoon, back out for Noble. Kennedy drives, feeds it short corner for Miller, one more Johnson, a three. From the rim, no good. And Smith tiptoeing the sideline. Wise play to throw it off Malika Rankin. She was holding her balance and saw Rankin was right on her backside. And she just clanks it off Malika Rankin. It will go back to the Knights. Southern Virginia shot 9 of 21 in the first quarter. Hit 4 threes. Snyder with a game-high 15 points. After the first, Smith near side wing. Feeds to the top for Savoon. Savoon drives, feeds back out Smith with 11 to shoot. Smith working on Noble, inside for Kempler, has it tipped away and stolen by Kennedy Noble. Up the floor for Miller. Olivia pulls it back out, feeds to the top, Petty Wilkins. Jada drives, bounce down low for Noble and she'll score. Crafty find from Jada Petty Wilkins. And Kennedy Noble has 4 points. The Tornadoes back within 4. Savoon across the timeline on Rankin. Kempler sets a screen at the top of the key. Savoon off to Snyder, no hesitation on a three, and she's got it again. 4 first half threes for Abigail Snyder. She has 18. And the lead's back to 7. Miller pump fakes a three, feeds to the free throw line for Johnson. Johnson drives, has it deflected away off her leg and out of bounds. Willie De La Rosa will check in for the first time. And Alicia Hill back in. Jada Petty Wilkins checks out. So it's Snyder, Savoon, Foster, De La Rosa, and Kempler on the floor for the Knights. And Malika Rankin will head to the bench. Maybe some blood on the jersey. As it looks like Hill, Noble, Miller, Johnson, and Petty Wilkins will check back in for Malika Rankin. Get some attention on the bench from athletic trainer Sylvia Parisi as Snyder bounces into Savoon. With just a minute and a half gone here in this second quarter. 7-point lead for the Knights as Snyder steps around the screen. Another three. Off the iron, no. Foster there for the second chance. Back out Savoon, free throw line. Kempler faces up on Johnson. Has it poked away by the Defensive Player of the Year, and Noble collects a loose change. Noble back out, Jada Petty Wilkins, an open three. It's good. Jada from long range once again. She nails her second triple, and it's 25-21. Tornadoes have yet to lead in this ball game, just trying to chip away. As Snyder drives on Petty Wilkins, crosses over in the lane, up with the left hand, she's blocked by Jada, and De La Rosa knocks it out of bounds. Back to the Tornadoes, wonderful defense from Jada Petty Wilkins to turn away the USA South Player of the Year at the basket. Kimball back in, Kempler to the bench, as Miller will inbound on the left baseline. 7:43 to go here in the second, 25-21. Southern Virginia in front in this USA South Conference Championship game. Petty Wilkins across the timeline, feeds to the free throw line for Miller. She faces up on Foster, has it jarred loose, and Savoon takes it away. Savoon drives on Petty Wilkins, throws it up with the left hand, no good, and Johnson looked like poked it out of bounds, but it's going to be off Southern Virginia and back to Brevard. Hill will take it across once Miller tosses it in. There's 7:22 to go here in the second quarter. Hill feeds it inside for Petty Wilkins on De La Rosa. Back out Johnson, one more top of the key, Miller. Miller drives on Foster, throws it up, a wild shot, no good. And Foster down with the rebound. Here comes Savoon for the Knights. At the top of the key, off to De La Rosa on the far side wing. De La Rosa, the free throw line. Foster tries a mid-range jumper. It's nothing but net. Foster knocks it down, and it's 27-21. Coach Huddle burn a timeout with 6:48 to go here in the second quarter. We'll be right back when we return on the other side.
Over 125 years, Comporium hasn't had customers. We've had neighbors, friends, and a community we're proud to serve. Because for us, it's personal. We live, work, and raise our families right alongside you. So yes, we deliver lightning-fast speeds and reliable service, but more than that, we deliver commitment. Comporium, making connections that make a difference.
Back at the Bosch, 27-21, Southern Virginia in front here in the second quarter. With a packed Boshimer Gymnasium here on the home side, there is not a single seat left in the house. As Hill will bring it across for the Tornadoes, Kayla Jean in for the first time. So it's Jean, Hill, Noble, Johnson, and Petty Wilkins on the floor for Brevard. Hill picks up her dribble, feeds it near side wing for Jada. Jada defended tightly by De La Rosa, crosses over, throws it up in the mid-range, and she is fouled. And it'll be free throws for Jada Petty Wilkins. Looks like new sub in the game for Southern Virginia. It'll be Maya Foster to check in for De La Rosa. So Savoon, Snyder, Asia Maya Foster, and Anna Kimball. As Petty Wilkins puts up the first free throw, it rolls in for Jada. Give Jada 7 points, tied for the lead on the team with Olivia Miller with 7 first half points as well. Snyder has 18. No other night has more than 5. And Maria Savoon, second free throw for Petty Wilkins. She knocks both of them down. It's back to a 4-point game. As Savoon feeds off to Snyder, who will bring it across right to left. Under 6.5 to play here in the first half. Snyder, defended by Petty Wilkins, gets a screen at the top of the key. Feeds to the top for Savoon with 17 to shoot. Maria drives on Hill, loses it off her leg, and it will stay with the Knights. Great defense by Alicia Hill. And Southern Virginia will inbound with 14 to shoot. Snyder will inbound on the left baseline for the Knights. Snyder finds Kimball in the corner. Now back out for Maya Foster. Foster to the top for Savoon with under 10 to shoot. Maria gets the screen from Asia Foster. Hill, great defense on the ball on Savoon. 3 to shoot. Bounces it off, and Foster's unable to get it up. A shot clock violation. Wonderful on-ball defense from Alicia Hill. She went over the top of the screen and didn't give Maria Savoon a sliver of space. And the Tornadoes get it back down 4 with 5:53 in the moving clock here in the second quarter. Top of the key with Petty Wilkins. Back out Noble. Noble drives towards the free throw line. Picks up her dribble in the corner for Hill. Alicia drives, has it back tipped, and it will stay with the Tornadoes with 13 to shoot as the ball launches out of bounds. Olivia Miller back in the game. She will get Kayla Jean. As Annalie Morris, who is getting some attention on the sideline, will head back to the Tornadoes bench. Soon we'll see her here in a few minutes. Hill feeds in Petty Wilkins. Jada's going to try a 3. It's blocked by Kimball with the long contest. Snyder across the timeline at the top of the key. Crosses over on Miller. Stops in the lane. Turned away. Flip out back out to Foster, and a travel called on Abigail Snyder. Really nice on-ball defense on the last 2 defensive possessions for the Tornadoes as Morris back to the scorer's table. She'll get Kennedy Noble. Miller will inbound with 5:29 to go here in the second quarter. She gets it to Morris, who will bring it across again. The Tornadoes without one of their primary ball handlers, an all-around great player, Christina Roan, today. As Morris crosses over top of the key, drives on Kimball, feeds back out Miller, pump fakes a 3. Kick back out Morris with 17 to shoot. Morris behind the back on Savoon, drives towards the free throw line. Another back tap, but it finds Hill, who floats it up and in and one. Alicia Hill collected the loose change on the back tap, and she converts at the cup plus the foul. Second bucket for Hill on her second shot, and she goes to the free throw line to try and make it a 1-point game. Alicia's and 1 free throw up and good. 27-26, Southern Virginia. For the Tornadoes, a quick 5-0 run to make it a 1-point game. Snyder at the top of the key, defended by Moore. She goes over the screen from Foster. It doesn't allow Snyder any space. Top of the key with Savoon. Directing the offense, she gets around the screen from Kimball. Feeds to the top for Snyder with 10 to shoot. Snyder steps back, contested 3, no good. Foster had the rebound for a moment, but it's out of bounds off of the Knights. The Tornadoes, a defensive adjustment. You can see it. They're starting to go over the screens on Savoon and Snyder, and that's really led to some tough shots. As the official whistle for a timeout, Coach Hudson's like, I didn't call that. As we'll resume play with 4:45 to go. Actually, I think it was for the media. We bypassed the media with the Tornadoes called timeout. As Hill bounces it near side wing for Petty Wilkins. Top of the key with Miller. Over to Alicia Hill. Inside Johnson, the short corner. Drives on Kimball, loses out of bounds, but was deflected out by Kimball. The Knights have been really active, especially on these back taps. The Tornadoes are driving, get past the defender, and they've had success tipping it out from behind as Maya Foster checks out. Kenzie Peterson back in. Petty Wilkins, top of the key with 15 to shoot. She crosses her on Peterson, drives the lane with the left hand off the glass. It rolls out, and Kimball grabs a rebound. Hill tried to come up and steal it away from Savoon, but she gets out of traffic. Off to Peterson. Peterson drives in the corner for Foster. Mid-range jumper rolls home. Asia Foster makes it a 3-point game, 29-26 as we approach 4 to play. Here in the first half. Top of the key with Petty Wilkins, off to Miller. Miller drives on Foster, turned away, but she'll step through and shoot it anyway, and she is blocked by Foster. Asia Foster was the Defensive Player of the Year a year ago, and she shows why right there. As she turns away, Olivia Miller. Penny Wilkins checks out. Back in is Malika Rankin. It's bounced into Caden Johnson. Johnson picks up her dribble, feeds to the top for Rankin. Rankin driving on Peterson, throws up with the right hand. Contact after the shot and a foul. That's the right call. Clean initially, but the body on the back end. As Kimball picks up a foul. First foul on her, and the third on Southern Virginia. 3:49 to go. Rankin goes back to the free throw line. She went 0 of 2 her first trip. Shooting about 65% from the line. Her first free throw was swished in. And it's 29-27. Tornadoes have not led in this first half, but they trail by as much as 9, and they've really done a nice job to reel it back in as her second free throw is good. 2 of 2 goes Rankin. As Savoon grabs the inbounds on the baseline, off to Peterson. Now on the backcourt for Abigail Snyder. Snyder defended tightly by Rankin. Malika did a really nice job on Abigail Snyder when the Knights came here in the regular season. As Snyder feeds to the top for Kempler. Kempler looks inside for Foster. Good pass as Foster collects one, bounce up and in. Good find, good high-low action from the Knights on that possession. As Asia Foster, who's a big part of why Southern Virginia is here, converts at the cup. Morris floats it up on the other side, and she is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. It's been the body, not the initial, by Southern Virginia defensively. They were straight up, but it's a body on the backside that gets the whistle there as Morris heads to the free throw line. Smith will check in. And Savoon checks out. Actually, it's not going to be Savoon. It's going to be Kempler to check out. 2 free throws coming up for Annalie Morris to try and make it a 1-point game again. Tornadoes have been as close as 1. But no ties, no lead changes in this one so far. Morris's first free throw is knocked down, and she'll get one more from the line. So it's Savoon, Snyder, Peterson, Foster, and Smith on the floor with Morris, Hill, Rankin, Johnson, and Miller for the Tornadoes. Morris gives 2 of 2, and it's 31-30 with 3:17 to play in the second. Snyder feeds off Savoon across the timeline. Maria drives, met by 2. She kicks back out for Peterson. Peterson to skip past to Foster, drives on Johnson, back out Savoon, and open 3. It's good. Big shot for Savoon. It's a 4-point game, and Southern Virginia answers. Every time the Tornadoes have had something, the Knights have had an answer for it. Back out Rankin, pump fakes a 3 on Savoon, spins, drives to the lane with the right hand, rolls it home. Crafty move by Malika Rankin as Savoon pulled away, trying not to pick up a foul. And it's 34-32. 2:41 to go as Snyder, who's been held quiet in the last couple minutes, works on Rankin towards the free throw line. She's turned away. Feeds baseline for a cutting Savoon. Kick out picked off by Johnson. Hill up the floor for a streaking Annalie Morris in transition with the right hand, too strong. Good defense by Peterson in transition as Snyder is fouled on the loose ball. The Tornadoes so good in transition. Peterson with her hand straight up in the air impacted Annalie Morris at the cup. And the score stays 34-32. First foul called on Morris as Peterson grabs the inbounds pass, bounces it back to Snyder. With 2:19 in the moving clock here in the second quarter. 3-point game, 2-point game. 34-32, Southern Virginia. As Peterson has it top of the key. Look back to her now, feed off for Foster. Foster drives, goes up with the right hand on Johnson off the side of the backboard. Peterson there with the second chance. Snyder from the mid-range knocks it down. Second chance points for the Knights make it 36-32, under 2 minutes to play. Hill calls out the offense as she gets the screen from Miller. Now it's the block for Johnson. Johnson working on Peterson. Nice move with the left hand up and in. She faked one way, went back the other. And it's 36-34. Tornadoes looking for a stop. As Savoon steps around the screen, steps back for a triple. No good. Smith on the backside grabs a rebound. Peterson a quick trigger 3. She's got it. The second chance points piling up here in this first half as Southern Virginia extends a lead back to 5. Top of the key with Olivia Miller. She looks inside for Johnson. Johnson spins on Peterson, goes up with a left hand, massages it in for two. Kaden Johnson at the basket, back-to-back buckets. And it's 39-36, under a minute to play in the first half. Savoon bounces it off for Foster. Foster, Defensive Player of the Year on Defensive Player of the Year, and Foster wins the battle at the cup. Drives past Johnson for two. And it's 41-36. Hill left to right across the timeline. Off to Malika Rankin. Rankin to the corner for Miller. Miller with 18 on the timer, crosses over on Foster. Now to the right block. She steps through, shoots it, can't score as it rolls off the far side iron. Shot clock is turned off. Snyder pulls it up. Now Peterson wide open, going to try a three. It rolls off, and Rankin down with the rebound. Rankin off to Johnson. Caden gets it across the timeline and slows things up with 14 to shoot in the first half. Morris drives to the free throw line, steps back, mid-range jumper, no good. And Snyder will come the other way with 7. Snyder at the timeline, feeds off Savoon, a deep three. Back iron, no. And the second quarter timer will expire. We head to the halftime break. Tornadoes got as close as one, but Southern Virginia holds a 5-point lead at the halftime break, 41-36. When we come back for the third quarter on the other side.
Earthling Coffee, we're not just brewing drinks, we're crafting experiences that are truly out of this world. From our amazing lattes, made with our exclusive Event Horizon espresso, roasted right here in the Pisgah Forest, to our custom energy drinks, powered by plants and coffee beans, without the crazy chemicals the big guys use. Earthling Coffee isn't just another stop, it's your launchpad for adventure, community, and flavour beyond the stars. Earthling Coffee. So what can we get crafting for you today?
Back here at the Bosch, ready for the second half. About a minute to go on the halftime timer as the Tornadoes and the Knights prep for this second half of play. Southern Virginia leads 41-36 at the halftime break, much due to its advantage in the second chance department, the offensive rebounds. 10 offensive rebounds in the first half for the Knights and 12 second chance points to show for it. And this 5-point lead at halftime. The Tornadoes shot 12 of 28 in the first half. Southern Virginia 17 of 38 with 7 made threes. All things considered, I think the Tornadoes are pretty happy with the margin at halftime, considering that Southern Virginia hit 4 more threes, shot 10 more shots in total. But the Tornadoes, where they have been able to cut into this lead, is at the free throw line. 9 free throws made in the first half on 12 attempts, as the Tornadoes have done a really nice job, as they did last time out. Shot I think program best 40 free throws last time out against William Peace. As the Knights and the Tornadoes back ready to go for the final half of the USA South Conference Championship game. It's Hill, Johnson, Petty Wilkins, Rankin, and Miller on the floor for the Tornadoes. No Annalie Morris on the floor to start this second half. Mentioned she was a game-time decision. She is on the bench. Her whole left leg is in a sleeve. As Snyder, Savoon, Smith, Kimball, and Foster will be the 5 for the Knights, who will attack left to right here in this second half. Snyder fires it into Smith, and a quick foul on Jada Petty Wilkins, who tried to gamble on the inbounds pass. First on Jada, no real foul trouble in this ball game so far today. Kempler has 2, but the 7 fouls in the first half on the Knights were spread out. A lot of players with 1. As Kimball works on Johnson. Faces up at the basket, now feeds Snyder, who has a game-high 20 points. He twirls in the lane, can't hit. As Foster slaps a second chance rebound back to Smith. 11th offensive rebound for the Knights, who reset with 15 to shoot. Savoon can the offense at the top. Fires to Kimball. Kimball feeds Snyder, who will pull another mid-range jumper. No good again, and Johnson fends off Foster for the rebound. Hill feeds across the timeline for Petty Wilkins. Drives to the basket with the right hand, and it rolls off, no good. Foster down with the rebound for the Knights. Good look for Jada, just couldn't hit. Now Smith in the corner tries a 3, no good. Petty Wilkins with a weak side rebound. Jada fires it up the floor for Malika Rankin, back out Miller. Miller skips in the corner for Johnson. One more off to Hill. Alicia drives, gets to the cup with the right hand, rolls it off, no good. The second chance rebound is on the floor. Now a travel call on Foster, who fell to hardwood. So the Tornadoes will get a second chance on this possession with Rankin to key it in on the baseline. 8:55 to go, minute and 5 seconds gone here in the third quarter. No side has scored yet as Hill grabs a dribble handoff from Johnson. Out the top of the key, off to Jada Petty Wilkins in the corner for Miller. Olivia back out for Jada, inside Johnson. Johnson back to Miller with 8 to shoot. Olivia drives, bounces it in the corner. Johnson, a mid-range jumper. It's an air ball. And Kimball comes down with the rebound. Here comes Savoon, left to right. Feeds off for Snyder. Snyder pump fakes the 3 on Rankin. Rankin goes underneath the ball screen. Snyder drives, gets in the lane, puts it up with the left hand and in. Physical move from Abigail Snyder, who has 22 points on 9 of 18 shooting. Hill calls out the offense, 43-36, Southern Virginia out in front. Miller top of the key. Finds Petty Wilkins, who loses it, but finds it on the far sideline with 9 to shoot. She picks up her dribble inside for Miller. Miller works on Snyder, turns, fires a mid-range jumper. It rolls off. Savoon comes away with it for the Knights. At the top of the key, now the free throw line for Foster. Foster defended by Johnson, drives to the cup with left hand off the glass. No, but Kimball, there the second chance rebound, and she is fouled. The activity on the glass for the Knights as Kayla Jean will check in for the Tornadoes. Second called on Caden Johnson as Jean checks in the ball game. Johnson heads to the bench. Actually, Miller will go to the bench. Johnson stays on the floor with Rankin, Jean, Petty Wilkins, and Hill. Snyder will inbound on the right baseline for the Knights. Feeds it into Kimball in the corner. Now back out to Smith. To the top for Savoon. Maria Savoon feeds to Abigail Snyder, who will launch a deep three on Rankin. It grazes off the front iron, but Foster grabs another offensive rebound. Out to Kimball. Kimball throws it to the top for Abigail Snyder with 14 to shoot. Rankin relentless ball pressure here, and a foul called near the BC logo at midcourt. Rankin whistled for the foul on Snyder. And the Knights will inbound with a fresh 20. 7:20 to go, only 2 points scored here in the first couple minutes and change of the third quarter. Feed into Kimball, hand off to Savoon at the top. Maria Savoon steps back, tries a three, no good, but Snyder taps the rebound right to Foster, who throws it off the glass and in with the right hand. Second chance buckets again paying off for the Knights, tying a game-high lead of 9, and it's 45-36. Petty Wilkins grabs a screen at the top from Jean. Jada comes around it. Now feeds off to Alicia Hill. Hill into Jean, back to the basket. Bowls over Smith. Her layup is no good. And Snyder comes down with it. Abigail in transition has it back tipped by Rankin and out of bounds. So it will stay with the Knights with 25 to shoot, 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. 45-36 the lead as it's bounced into Snyder, who turns on Rankin, shoots and scores. Another bucket for Abigail Snyder. And the lead is a game-high 11, 47-36. Coach Hudd burns a timeout with 6:38 to play in the third. We'll take one with them. As when we return, Southern Virginia has opened up an 11-point lead here in the third quarter when we come back on the other side.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy.
Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not.
Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate, with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits.
It's her! You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today.
A 6-0 burst for Southern Virginia out of the halftime break to grow a halftime lead of 5-11. As the Knights have really worked hard on the offensive glass. 14 offensive rebounds to create a handful of second chance opportunities. Now 14 second chance points as Hill will bring it across right to left for the Tornadoes. Screen at the top for Alicia. Alicia looks down low for Miller, nothing there. Feedback to the top for Johnson, now over to Petty Wilkins. Jada far side wing finds Hill at the top with 12 to shoot. Miller sets the screen for Hill, who steps through, now fires to Petty Wilkins in the corner. Jada drives, goes up with the right hand, and one as Snyder comes with the contact. Huge shot for Jada Petty Wilkins, and the second foul called on Abigail Snyder. Petty Wilkins to the free throw line. Ainley Morris back on the floor for the Tornadoes. So it's Morris, Miller, Johnson, Hill, Petty Wilkins, who misses the and one free throw, but the rebound slap back out to Jada. Jada feeds to the top. Hill, an open three. Rolls out, but Morris and Johnson combine for another offensive rebound. Caden feeds off Jada. Jada, mid-range jumper, and it's good. A 4-point possession for the Tornadoes, and just like that, back within 7. As Snyder will bring it across the crowd back into it with 5:48 and a moving clock in the third quarter. Snyder feeds over to Savoon. Tornadoes in a zone defense now. A 2-3 for Brevard as Foster has it at the top inside for Kimball, and Johnson whistled for a foul with a forearm in the back of Kimball. Third call on Johnson. That's a big foul calling on Johnson as Jean will head to the scorer's table and check back in for Caden. As Kempler will check in for Kimball. Those two have been complementary with each other with just the ability to rebound the basketball. As this one's into Snyder open, who will shoot it no good. Jean had the rebound. Kempler was after it, and it will go back to Brevard. Snyder had an open bunny there at the cup. Couldn't get it to go, and the Tornadoes get it back down 7. 5:31 to go here in the third. The Tornadoes use a 4-point possession to get the crowd back into it. As Hill has it at the top of the key. Hand off to Morris. Morris inside for an open Miller. Right-hand layup is good. Tornadoes answer Southern Virginia's 6-0 run with one of their own. And Brevard is back within 5. Snyder doubled across the timeline. Feeds off Savoon. Now a bounce pass back to Snyder at the top of the key. Abigail, who has had a great game, steps into another 3. It rolls out. And Jada Petty-Wilkins now with the rebound. Jada crosses over at the timeline. A skip pass to Hill, who tiptoes his sideline to keep it in bounds. Jean in the short corner. Feeds back out. Hill with 20 to shoot. Alicia around the screen. Drives on Kempler. Turned away. Fires it to the short corner. Miller back out for Petty-Wilkins. Steps into a long 3. Jada's got it again. Petty-Wilkins from long range. It's a 2-point game. And Southern Virginia burns a timeout. Brevard goes on a 9-0 run when Southern Virginia had pushed it to a game-high 11-point lead. And Brevard right back into it. We'll take a quick break. 47-45 Southern Virginia when we come back on the other side.
Over 125 years, Comporium hasn't had customers. We've had neighbors, friends, and a community we're proud to serve. Because for us, it's personal. We live, work, and raise our families right alongside you. So yes, we deliver lightning-fast speeds and reliable service, but more than that, we deliver commitment. Comporium, making connections that make a difference.
Back at the Bosch, a quick 9-0 run in which Jada Petty-Wilkins has scored 7 of the 9. She had that and one. She missed a free throw but got it back and made a mid-range on that possession. And then knocks down the 3 to force a Southern Virginia timeout. Brevard back within 2 after trailing by 11 earlier in this third quarter. 4:33 to go. The inbounds pass finds Foster. As Snyder will bring it across. Full court pressure from Petty-Wilkins. She backpedals into the front court. Snyder at the top. Gets a screen from Kempler. Thought about 3. Now feeds it back out to Kempler with 14 to shoot. Kempler works on Miller. And off to Peterson. Kenzie Peterson in the corner for Foster. Drives baseline on Jean. Gets to the basket with the right hand and scores. The baseline drive, the first step from Foster to get by Kayla Jean. And it's 49-45. Top of the key with Hill. Jean sets the screen. Alicia drives, has it knocked away out of bounds. It will stay with Brevard with 19 to shoot. 3:55 to play here in the third. Hill to inbound on the left baseline. As she looks for an option, fires it in front of the Brevard bench to Annalie Morris. Morris loses a handle. Snyder knocked it away, and Savoon collects a loose change. Up the floor for Snyder, flips it inside. Peterson in transition. Her layup is good. A response from Southern Virginia, and the lead's back to 6. Petty-Wilkins gets a screen at the top, drives the lane with the right hand off the glass, no good. Foster taps a rebound to Snyder. Snyder off to Peterson. Peterson back out Savoon, a long-range 3 from the rim, no. Kempler able to get the second chance rebound, puts up a mid-range jumper, front rim, no. Savoon put it up again, and Morris blocks it out of bounds. Kimball back in, Foster to the bench. Noble in the game for Hill. As Snyder will inbound. Fires it in to Kimball in the corner. Kimball hand off to Snyder. She'll try a 3. Front rim, no, but another offensive rebound. Back out Peterson, a 3. This is good. Peterson from long range. Another second chance opportunity for Southern Virginia. And it's 54-45. 7-0 run for the Knights after Brevard cut it to 2. Morris gets a screen at the top. Annalee picks up her dribble. Looked inside for Jean, slapped away by Kempler and out of bounds. And Brevard will inbound with 14 to shoot, 2:47 to go here in the third. Brevard to inbound on the left sideline here with Morris. Morris finds Petty Wilkins. Jada, who has 15 points, steps around the Miller screen, drives inside with the right hand and a foul. Called on the Knights as Jada takes a hard spill to the hardwood, holding her shoulder. As she gets to her feet, Jada, one of the heart and souls of this team throughout her time here at Brevard, as she gets to her feet and will head to the free throw line. As Johnson to check back in, Jean heads to the bench. And Petty Wilkins taking some time will step to the free throw line with 2:42 to go here in the third quarter. Jada, 5 of 12 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. And 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Steps up for the first of 2. And she'll knock it down. And it's 54-46 with one more upcoming for Jada Petty Wilkins. What a treasure she's been to watch this year for this Tornadoes team, the second team all-conference selection here in her senior season. She puts up the second free throw and goes 2 of 2 from the line. 54-47 your score. Southern Virginia leads by 7. Snyder finds Savoon. Savoon pressured in the backcourt. Noble got a tip on it, but it finds Snyder. Snyder steps back, tries a 3. Rolls out no, and Miller down with a weak side rebound. Olivia pushing in transition, feeds off Morris. Morris works on Savoon, floats it up to the cup with the right hand. No good, grabs her own miss over a host of Knights, and she's fouled. Annalee back to the line. Not 100% today is Morris with that left leg in a sleeve, but she's fighting hard for this Tornadoes team as Foster goes to the table. Foul called on Kempler, her third, so she'll head to the bench. Annalee Morris to the line, had 39 points in the opening round against Meredith as she knocks down the free throw to make it a 6-point game. One more upcoming for Annalee Morris. As she goes 1 of 2. It rolls out and Snyder grabs a rebound. Abigail across the timeline. Defended by Kennedy Noble at the top. The Tornadoes back in that 2-3 defense. Savoon on the USA South logo across the floor, feeds to Foster at the top of the key. Foster bounces in the corner, Peterson. Peterson, the free throw line for Kimball, turns, faces, feeds Foster, mid-range jumper, back rim, no. And the rebound slapped out of bounds, last off, Abigail Snyder. Back to Brevard, 1:53 to play here in the third. As Miller bounces into Morris, who slowly brings it across for the Tornadoes. Trailing by 6 here in the third quarter. Top of the key screen from Johnson. Now flipped back to Caden, who drives on Kimball, turned away, bounces it back out, Petty Wilkins. Jada defended by Peterson, drives to the cup, now feeds back out Johnson, a 3. She rolls it in. Caden Johnson from long range, back to a 3-point game. As Snyder finds Peterson, back to Snyder, now over to Savoon. Tornadoes wanted a backcourt violation on that, didn't get the call as Snyder works on Noble at the top of the key with 15 to shoot. Approaching a minute to play here in the third. Long skip pass to Savoon, one more in the corner. Peterson tries to answer, and she does. Long range 3 from Kenzie Peterson, a big shot to make it 57-51. Morris brings it across for the Tornadoes, crosses over on Savoon, floats it up with the right hand, rolls in for Annalee. Snyder brings it across, 49 seconds in the moving clock here in a 4-point game. Snyder pulls up in transition, off the glass, no. Foster, second chance, she'll float it in. The second chance baskets have been the story today, as Southern Virginia pays it off yet again here with 34 seconds to go in the third. 59-53 your score as Miller tries to set a screen for Morrison, does at the top of the key. Back to Olivia. Olivia drives on Foster. Back out Petty Wilkins. Petty Wilkins, a quick trigger 3. It's good. Jada Petty Wilkins again knocks it down to cut the lead back to 3. 10 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Savoon directs the offense at the top of the key. Foster sets a screen. Savoon drives, turned away. Back to Foster with one. She'll put it up and score. Buzzer beater for Asia Foster to suck the air out of the Bosch yet again. Every time Brevard has tried to get some momentum, the Knights have gotten it right back. We go to the fourth. Two sides had some runs, but it ends in a deadlock of a third quarter. And it remains a 5-point game as we head to the final 10 minutes. What an exciting finish we'll have here at the Bosch when we come back on the other side.
Earthling Coffee, we're not just brewing drinks, we're crafting experiences that are truly out of this world. From our amazing lattes, made with our exclusive Event Horizon espresso, roasted right here in the Pisgah Forest, to our custom energy drinks, powered by plants and coffee beans, without the crazy chemicals the big guys use. Earthling Coffee isn't just another stop, it's your launchpad for adventure, community, and flavour beyond the stars. Earthling Coffee. So what?
The fourth and final quarter here inside Boshamer Gymnasium. Do the Tornadoes have one last push against this Southern Virginia team who has 18 offensive rebounds, 19 second chance points. That has helped gear this 5-point lead as we enter the fourth. Morris near side, wing for Miller. Now Petty Wilkins in the lane, goes up with the right hand, no good. And Snyder comes away with it for the Knights. Quick shot on the first possession of the fourth quarter for the Tornadoes as Snyder feeds Savoon on the far side wing. Maria Savoon to the top. It's had a tough day shooting the basketball, but she's done a good job directing this offense. Drives the lane with the left hand and scores off the glass. 63-56 Knights with the first bucket here in the fourth. Morris crosses over on Savoon. Backs her down. Spins, has it knocked away, and Snyder collects a loose change. Snyder in transition. Drives on Noble. Now flips it to the corner. Petty Wilkins knocks it out of bounds, and it will stay with the Knights with 24 to shoot. Tornadoes trail by 7 after Savoon gets to the basket and also creates a turnover on the other end. Start off this fourth quarter strong for Southern Virginia. In the corner for Snyder. Feeds inside Foster. Foster defended by Miller. Back out for Kimball with 19 to shoot. Anna Kimball drives, turns and fires on Johnson. It rolls out. Petty Wilkins, a great block out. Secures the rebound. Up the floor for Morris, who will bring it across for the Tornadoes. Morris gets a screen from Johnson on the far side wing to the top. Snyder goes over as Morris drives, turned away, back out for Johnson. Johnson to Morris. Morris, a mid-range jumper from the rim, no. And Kimball down with the rebound. Here comes Savoon, left to right for the Knights. Crosses over on Kennedy Noble, gets to her left hand of the basket, throws it off the glass, no good. And Miller collects a rebound. Here comes Olivia in transition. Olivia out to Caden Johnson, near side wing 3. Side iron, no good. And Kimball down with another rebound. Here comes Foster for Southern Virginia. Foster towards the free throw line, back off to Maria Savoon, drives on Noble, goes up the left hand, no good, but a foul. And Maria Savoon will head to the free throw line. Tornadoes look a little bit tired again without a key piece today in Christina Roan. As Rankin and Hill will check in, Morris and Petty Wilkins to the bench. Can't emphasize how the absence of Christina Roan impacts this team. The Tornadoes, one of the primary ball handlers, as Savoon's first free throw is good. 64-56 with one more upcoming for Maria Savoon. Second free throw up, second free throw good for Savoon. And it's 65-56. A minute and 46 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. Hill across the timeline. Gets a screen from Miller at the top. Alicia drives towards the elbow. Turned away by Foster, the 2024-2025 Defensive Player of the Year. Now Rankin drives the far side. Turned away, fires back out from Miller. The pass too high. And it goes out of bounds back to Southern Virginia. The Knights with the momentum, with the energy here in the fourth. As the Tornadoes look for one more final surge against this stout Knights team. 1 versus 2 here in the conference championship as Savoon steps back top of the key, feeds off Kimball, pulls up for a mid-range jumper. Off the glass, no, but Foster there again with a second chance and sticks it home with the right hand. Southern Virginia reinstates its highest lead of the game by 11, 67-56, with a 6-0 run to start the fourth. Rankin drives on Savoon, chucks it up with the left hand, no good, and Snyder comes away with it all the way up the floor from Maria Savoon. One dribble in transition, lost it, and she was out of bounds. It will go back to the Tornadoes. Back in comes Petty Wilkins. With 7:17 to go, Miller will head to the bench. As Kempler checks back in, Foster heads to the bench for the Knights. Petty Wilkins will inbound to Alicia Hill. They will bring it across right to left for the Tornadoes. Noble near side wing bounces to the top for Rankin with 15 to shoot. Rankin has some space for a three, and she hits it. Kempler was playing off. Rankin takes advantage, and the Tornadoes back with an 8. Snyder up the floor for Kempler, and she traveled back the other way as the crowd getting back into it with 6:49 to go here in the fourth. Tornadoes have never led. This game has been tied for 59 seconds as Hill brings it across. Top of the key with Johnson, off to Rankin. This time Kempler a little closer. Rankin drives, gets underneath the basket with the right hand and scores. The Tornadoes clawing back 67-61 as Savoon will bring it across for the Knights. Savoon pressured relentlessly by Alicia Hill. She gets past her for a moment, goes behind the back in the lane with the right hand. No good. Rebound tipped around. Last touched by Brevard. Coach Hudd not a fan of that call. And that's a big one. It looked like from here at least Southern Virginia was the last to touch it. But all three officials confirmed the call on the floor. As Savoon will inbound with 6:15 to go, 15 to shoot for Southern Virginia. Savoon finds Snyder on the inbounds pass, left-hand layup rolls in. The big call turns into a bucket for Abigail Snyder. And it's 69-61. The top with Malika Rankin. Rankin inside for Johnson. Back to the basket working on Kimball. Johnson turned away initially. Still goes up the left hand. Can't get it to go. And Kimball comes away with it. Hands it off to Snyder. Snyder top of the key. Hesitates on Malika Rankin. Goes to the cup. Pretty finish with the right hand for Snyder. And it's back to a 10-point lead. 71-61, 5:40 to go here in the fourth, and Coach Hudd will burn a timeout with 5:39 to go in the fourth. 10-point lead for Southern Virginia. Do the Tornadoes have one last surge with 5:39 to go? We'll see when we come back on the other side here for the fourth quarter.
Bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Crispy.
Will you accept this leg?
And everything that's not.
Because it doesn't matter where you tailgate, with crispy hand-breaded chicken and scratch-made biscuits.
It's her!
You're not just tailgating. You're tailgating like a legend.
It's bow time. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app today.
Tornadoes will inbound with 5:39 to go in the fourth, trailing by 10. Petty Wilkins in the backcourt for Alicia Hill. The big story of this one, as we talked about all day, 21 offensive rebounds has led to 23 second chance points for the Knights. Petty Wilkins top of the key working on Smith, back out Johnson. Johnson pump fakes, drives inside, gets a couple left hand, too strong off the glass. On a great look at the basket for Caden Johnson. Savoon up the floor for Peterson. Has her pass slapped away looking to the corner for Smith. As Snyder will inbound to Savoon. 5:16 to go as Kimball has at the elbow. Handoff back to Savoon. She loses it. It's on the floor. And it's scooped to Kimball. Savoon has on the USA South logo on the far side of the floor with 10 on the timer. Savoon drives on Hill, has it deflected away. A late whistle and a foul. Savoon will go to the free throw line. Southern Virginia looking to take the USA South crown for the 4th time in 5 years. Brevard looking for its first conference championship in program history, but not coming easy today. As Savoon puts up the first of 2, knocks it down. And she'll get one more from the charity stripe. First team all-conference guard goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. It's a 12-point game. 5:01 to go as Petty Wilkins bounces into Alicia Hill. And Hill will bring it across for the Tornadoes. Hill bounces to the top for Jada, now off to Kennedy Noble. Noble to the top for Rankin. Rankin swings it across to Alicia Hill, now back to Malika, who has some space, tries a 3, no good. The rebound down with Snyder. Snyder will move in transition. Southern Virginia has numbers here with a 12-point lead. No need to rush it, though, for the Knights, as Snyder will pull it back out to Savoon with 20 to shoot. Savoon crosses over on Hill, gets to the basket with the left hand, no good, and Hill down with the rebound. Here come the Tornadoes right to left with Alicia Hill. Hill all alone, kicks to the corner. Rankin open again for 3. It's good. Big shot from Malika Rankin to get the Tornadoes back within 9. A 3-possession game with just over 4 to play here in the 4th. Snyder in the front court for Southern Virginia. As Snyder crosses over on Rankin, gets to the basket, kicks to the corner. Peterson couldn't get a clean handle. She feeds to the top for Smith. Smith steps back with 10, crosses over on Petty Wilkins, gets to the basket, throws it up, no good. The rebound tipped around. Petty Wilkins had it. Smith on the floor, pokes it around. Now on the floor, Snyder, and a timeout for Southern Virginia. The hustle late. Smith poked it away, lay down on the floor. And Southern Virginia gets a timeout with 3:39 to play. We'll take a quick break with them. 3:39 to play, 73-64 when we come back on the other side. Southern Virginia about to come out of the huddle with 3:39 to go, a 9-point game after a well-earned second possession here for the Knights. The hustle from Samantha Smith to keep that possession alive as Savoon will inbound on the right baseline. 3:39 to play, the Knights lead by 9. Savoon bounces it down low to a cutting Smith. Her layup off the side of the iron, no good. Hill comes away with it for the Tornadoes, pushes in transition. Feeds it out Rankin. Rankin thought about a 3, but not going to take it. And we'll work on Savoon to the basket with the right hand. She scores. Malika Rankin for 2. It's a 7-point game, 3:20 to moving clock here in the 4th. Savoon across the timeline, the crowd back into it with 3 minutes and change to play in the 4th quarter. Snyder crosses over on Rankin. The hot hand for Southern Virginia all day. She tries to feed it into Foster, a whistle and a foul. Johnson whistled for her 4th as Annalie Morris back at the scorer's table will grab Kennedy Noble. So it's Morris, Rankin, Petty Wilkins, Hill, and Johnson on the floor. For Brevard, Snyder, Foster, Smith, Savoon, and Peterson for the Knights. It's Foster in the short corner. Working on Johnson with 4, drives to the basket with the right hand. It rolls in. Touch every side of the iron and fell for Asia Foster. And it's back to a 9-point game, 75-66 as Morris crosses over on Savoon. Bounces it off to Hill, one more in the corner. Johnson, a quick trigger 3. It's short. Foster now with a rebound. Time dwindling away here in the 4th quarter. Southern Virginia controls by 9. Savoon to Snyder. with 20 to shoot. Snyder at the top of the key, working on Malika Rankin. Now in the corner for Foster. Foster drives on Johnson, kick to the corner. Peterson, a 2. She hits it. 11-point lead, perhaps a dagger with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Morris across the timeline. Working on Savoon, back to the basket. Into the corner for Hill. She'll try a triple, and she gets it to go. Big shot for Alacia Hill, back to a 9-point game. We'll see the Tornadoes start playing the foul game here with under 2 minutes to go. 1:57 on the moving clock in the fourth. Bounce it off to Smith. Smith working on Morris to the top of the key with Foster. Foster drives on Johnson, turned away initially, throws it up the left hand anyway, and she'll score. The Knights all day have had an answer. Whenever the Tornadoes have surged, the Knights have been right there to respond. Morris crosses over on Savoon, turned away in the lane. She'll hang and fire anyway and hit. Anna Lee knocks it down, 79-71 with 1:25 and a moving clock in the fourth. Snyder pressured by Rankin. A lot of contact, but Petty Wilkins rips it away on the backside. Jada in transition goes up with her right hand off the glass, no good. As Foster checks Petty Wilkins out of bounds, and Savoon will get it back for the Knights. Tough miss there for Jada. As we're under a minute to play, 8-point game. Savoon pressured by Hill. Goes behind the back now, a whistle and a foul on Alacia Hill. And Southern Virginia will inbound on the near sideline. Stick around, Southern Virginia and Brevard fans. We will air the presentation of the USA South Conference Championship Trophy here live on YouTube. We'll keep it right here and leave this headset open so you all can hear all the proceedings at this game's conclusion. 52 seconds to go. Savoon has it top of the key with 15 to shoot. Savoon pressured by Noble. She gets past her, goes behind the back on the far side with 8. Savoon drives, kick out Peterson. Skip pass over to Smith. Smith with 2, pulls up for a mid-range jumper, rolls off, but Foster slaps it out and will go out of bounds. With 31.1 to go, still a 3-possession game. As Petty Wilkins will inbound for the Tornadoes. Into Morris. Morris will bring it across quickly and drive on Savoon. Morris to the basket with the right hand and one. As Morris will go to the free throw line for one more. 79-73. Assuming this free throw goes in, I'm sure the Tornadoes will try and foul and make Southern Virginia win it from the free throw line. As Hill at the scorer's table will probably check in for Morris. As Kimball checks back in, Peterson heads to the bench. Big game for Abigail Snyder, but also Asia Foster, 12 of 15 from the field, 24 points, with Snyder's 28. As Southern Virginia burns a timeout, 79-74 with 24.3 to play. We'll keep it right here for a moment before we take a quick break just to talk about some of the stats. I feel like we haven't had a ton of time to talk about that today. 28 points for Abigail Snyder. A lot of them came in the first half. She had 18 points in that first half. Snyder also has 10 rebounds, a double-double here in the championship game. And Foster, who's been active all day long, big reason why Southern Virginia is here at Brevard. Foster had that and one with under a minute to go to help the Knights take down North Carolina Wesleyan in Buena Vista, Virginia. She has 24 points, 12 of 15 from the field with 11 rebounds to add on to that. And also Peterson in double figures with 13. Savoon has 14 on just 4 of 19 shooting. But Savoon's done a really nice job directing this offense, has 6 assists as well. For the Tornadoes, it's been Jada Petty Wilkins with 20. Malika Rankin has 14 off the bench. Morris and Miller have 9 apiece. Johnson with 7. Kennedy Noble with 4. Alacia Hill with 8 for this Brevard team. As we'll get back to action with 24.3 to go. Snyder will inbound for the Knights. Abigail feeds it into Foster. Foster trying to work around Johnson. Now a tie-up. And the possession, I believe, will stay with the Knights. Unfortunate there that the arrow wasn't going the other way. Things would get real interesting if that was the case. So 20.8 to go. 5-point lead for the Knights. Snyder will inbound on the right baseline for Southern Virginia. Snyder slaps the ball once. Feeds it into Foster. With 20 to shoot now, the Tornadoes will look to foul as Hill fouls Savoon. It's a 15 foul of the half, or the quarter, on the Tornadoes. So it will send Savoon to the free throw line. Tornadoes have been so good at home this season, just a couple home losses this year. Savoon knocks down the first. Only 2 home losses for Brevard here all season. It's been to these Knights and also Barry here earlier in the year. Savoon goes 2 of 2. It's a 7-point game, and Coach Hudd's going to burn another timeout with 17.6 seconds to play. We'll take a quick break with them as the Tornadoes limited time left here in this one. Southern Virginia trying to close it out for their 4th USA South Conference Championship in 5 seasons. We'll be right back on the other side.
Over 125 years, Comporium hasn't had customers. We've had neighbors, friends, and a community we're proud to serve. Because for us, it's personal. We live, work, and raise our families right alongside you. So yes, we deliver lightning-fast speeds and reliable service, but more than that, we deliver
It will be Tornado basketball here with 17.6 seconds to play after Savoon goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And the Tornadoes a little banged up coming into this one. Morris not 100%. Christina Roan out for today's game as Noble flips it into Johnson. Back to the top of the key with Petty Wilkins. Jada drives. Kick out to Hill. Defended tightly by Foster with 11 to play. Now Petty Wilkins would just chuck up a 3. Front of the iron, no good. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brevard. Timeout Southern Virginia with 5.1 seconds to play. A 7-point lead as Southern Virginia will earn the USA South Conference crown. More likely than not, never know what can happen. Crazy things happen in college basketball. But it'd have to be 7 or more points in 5.1 seconds. As we'll stay right here to talk about this one. What a fun one this has been. Hopefully you all have been enjoying this at home. What a team Southern Virginia has. What a team Brevard has. What a year. Second consecutive 20-plus win season, 23-4. The Tornadoes have been so far this year. And Southern Virginia looks to get retribution after Brevard took them down the home floor to almost solidify this first seed for the Tornadoes. Savoon is fouled with 3.6 seconds as she'll head to the free throw line with 3.6 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Wasn't easy for the Knights to get here. The Tornadoes cruised with a pair of big wins over Meredith and William Peace, but Southern Virginia had to have some late-game heroics against North Carolina Wesleyan as Savoon grazes the first free throw off the front of the rim. And we'll get one more from the line. But a conference championship well-earned for this Southern Virginia team as Savoon goes 1 of 2. And Petty Wilkins will inbound to Hill. Hill will flip it up the floor to Noble, who will throw it up with 1 second. The 3, no good. And Southern Virginia are conference champions of the USA South. What a game for the Knights. What a season for this Southern Virginia team. What a run in the conference tournament. Took some heroics against North Carolina Wesleyan today. Controlled wire to wire against the Brevard College Tornadoes, whose season will come to a close. For everybody involved with this Tornadoes team this season, I've had quite the time covering this team and enjoying these games with you all here at home. It's been a ton of fun. Ton of fun to watch Jada Petty Wilkins, Kaden Johnson, Olivia Miller, all these players who have just contributed to a great year for the Tornadoes. Again, congratulations to the Southern Virginia Knights, and congratulations to the seniors for the Tornadoes on a great Brevard career. Jada Petty Wilkins, Skylar Pettibone, Christina Roan, and Olivia Miller for this Tornadoes team. What a career it's been for all those players. And looking forward to seeing the Tornadoes in 2026 and 2027 as we'll open up the mic for you all to hear this Southern Virginia Conference Championship presentation.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court as we're joined by USA South Conference Commissioner Dr. Tom Hart. And first up, he will present the 2025-26 USA South Women's Basketball Championship Tournament Most Valuable Player. This year's MVP from Southern Virginia, number 11, Abigail Snyder. The remaining all-tournament team members will be announced on the USA South Conference website, usasouth.net. And once again, have a one more round of applause to all the teams and student athletes who participate in this year's tournament, including the runners-up from Brevard College, the Brevard College Tornadoes. And now presenting the 2025-26 Women's Basketball USA South Conference Tournament Championship Trophy to the Southern Virginia Knights. Congratulations. Thank you, fans, for coming out to today's USA South Conference Women's Basketball Championship. We appreciate your support all season long with Brevard College Tornado Athletics.
There it is, Abigail Snyder, tournament MVP. What a pleasure she was to watch today. Again, the two regular season matchups, she only had 13 points apiece, but today, man, what a game. She never came off the floor. 28 points for the Southern Virginia team, and Asia Foster, 12 of 15, 24 points for the Knights. Maria Savoon added 17. Not the best shooting day from the field for Savoon, the first-team guard. She also never came off the floor. The combination of Snyder and Savoon really powerful for this Knights team this season, and Southern Virginia will advance to the NCAA tournament after winning the USA South for the third consecutive season, third time in 4 years for the Knights. What a run it's been for head coach Lynette Schroeder and the Southern Virginia team. What a game it was today. The Tornadoes never led, made it a one-point game at several different segments of the game, but just could never get over the hump, and much of that is credit to Southern Virginia and their resilience in the runs. When the gym got loud, when the gym got hectic, Southern Virginia always had an answer, and most of it's because of 22 offensive rebounds and 23 second chance points today. As the Tornadoes fall at will and the Brevard season, what a great year under Donald Hudson, and what a pleasure it's been to watch this team all season, watch them grow, watch them develop in a 23-5 campaign in this 2025-2026 season. So congratulations to Southern Virginia and the Knights. I hope everybody enjoyed this coverage of the USA South Conference Championship game as Southern Virginia wins 82-74 here inside Boschmore Gymnasium for the last time this season. Ryan Wilkes signing off here live on YouTube.